Hello, my name is Dietrice Bolden, and welcome to Harlem Week 2020's Youth Conference. I am so glad to come to you today with some young people to represent Harlem, and they're going to talk to us about how they feel about what's going on pertaining to the pandemic, COVID-19, also the Black Lives Matter movement, and how technology has impacted this moment in time. Bringing up first, I would like to bring up Lucas L.J. Isler as he introduces himself.
Thank you. Greetings, family. Hope everybody's doing well. My name is Lucas Isler, aka Lou the King. I am an artist, an activist, thus an artivist, an alumni of Impact Preparatory Theater, and a member of the Order of the Feather Fraternity. And I'm just here contributing, to my community and family, to be the village, the product of the village that rose me.
Awesome. Welcome, LJ. I would like to introduce next Miss Tiannah Adams.
Hello, I'm Tiannah Adams. I have been born and raised in Harlem. I am a psychology and criminal justice major at the University of Scranton, and I'm going into my junior year.
That's awesome. And last but definitely not least, Miss Denaysha Macklin.
Hi, I'm Denaysha, and I am a senior in high school, and I am a current member in Impact Repertory Theater. And as LJ said, I am also an activist and an artist, so I consider myself an artivist. Good to be here.
Awesome, guys. So the first thing I want to talk to you is about how has COVID-19 affected you personally? Lucas, I'll throw that to you first.
Personally, it messed with my pockets. I'm jokingly, but yes, definitely. Economically, I know it's affected a lot of people, including myself. Just not being able to connect with people the same. Haven't been out and about, especially as an artist. Right before COVID hit, I was hitting open mics and showcases almost every day. I was in the studio almost every day, and that slowed up. Got some gigs that got canceled, so things like that. But on a positive note, it definitely gave more outlets of connecting. Since we lost that physical aspect of connection, it gave more outlets of connecting, and just going out of your way. It shows more intention with connection, as well as just spending that time with yourself that you might not have ever gotten the time to before. So,
okay, Tiannah, how about you?
What he said has definitely been a hard adjustment, staying in all the time, since I'm someone who has been always busy and going out like every day. But I think positively it has made me focus more on my mental health and being more motivated in school and focusing on my goals.
That's awesome. Denaysha?
I think I can kind of agree. It's really been harder because I'm usually always outside, going somewhere, having a dance rehearsal or a competition. And I feel like after everything got canceled, it was kind of hard to just be stuck in one place and staying in the same house all the time. But I've kind of started trying to just figure out more things that I would like to do besides just dancing, and just trying to stay active while being in the house.
Okay. And has COVID, anyone in your family has been affected by COVID? Have you had any loved ones that were hospitalized? Has it hit home personally for any of you guys?
Yeah, it has for me, but luckily everyone has recovered.
That's awesome to hear. So just going off of what Denaysha was talking about, how she was coping in her outlets, what are some outlets that you guys have done at home, whether it's through StreamYard or Zoom? How do you connect with your family and friends being in quarantine?
Well, for me, For me, I kind of feel like TikTok has been a big help for me because I don't know, it's a way to still stay active, and you were able to kind of duet with your friends and just be you can still dance with everyone. And I feel like TikTok was really important because it just helped you stay active and also like still stay connected with everyone.
Right. And as you mentioned, it's TikTok, which is how technology is affecting us during this time. How else has technology affected you during this time? LJ, I'll go to you.
Um, Ironically enough, like you were saying, Zoom and StreamYard and all these type of things are the positives. But honestly, I've been on Facebook and social media way too much since quarantine. To be honest, I used to never be on that stuff, but yeah, I'm on here on all the time. But other than that, coping mechanisms. Just for me, personally, working out. That's one thing I've been doing. Can't really escape. You know what I'm saying? You sit around bored long enough, and then you can't really. You can only come up with so many excuses. So that's that for me.
Okay. And Tiannah, how about you?
I think TikTok has been a big part, as well as like FaceTiming my friends more often. But negatively, I think I am a bit more addicted to my phone now since I'm with it all the time. But
Yes. You're not alone. So
that-
am I. So am I. And another way that technology has affected our lives is through our whole Black Lives Matter movement. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of police brutality in our nation. And I want to discuss how has the Black Lives Matter movement affected you? I'll go to you, Tiannah, first.
Well, the movement overall has been a very important part of my life since I was younger. My parents have been teaching me about it and teaching me about important Black historical figures since I was younger. But I think especially with COVID having to stay inside, I think it has made me more passionate about teaching people who are not willing to learn about the movement and to educate themselves on the problems going on in the Black community, and has given me more time to do that.
Okay. Come on, Denaysha.
I definitely agree. Like, I feel like educating people has kind of been like a main priority of mine. But I also feel like it's just the fact of like, I was always getting into these arguments with my friends because we're all like really passionate about this topic. So I feel like we've like been getting into a lot of different arguments regarding it. And it's kind of just like exhausting sometimes having to keep like going over it, and we all have strong opinions. So I just feel like it's also made us a little bit more strong-minded.
Okay, definitely. Lucas, how about you?
This might sound a little backwards. It's so unfortunate that, especially at a time like this, there's a raise in police brutality, if it's even really a raise. But what I take out of it is that at least we have more people looking. At least we have more people talking. At least people are actually waking up and realizing that, oh, there are things outside of my own face that are going on around me. Right. So that's the beautiful thing out of the the dark situation.
Okay, and I'm just going to throw this question out there. Any one of you can answer it. Have any one of you been have you experienced racial division personally? Have you ever been in a situation where you were discriminated against? Anyone?
For sure. I think early on in my lifetime since I have attended predominantly white institutions, I've had teachers expect me not to do as well as the other white students in my class because of the sole reason that I'm Black. But I feel like recently it has been more of a motivator than anything. So I guess there's a positive side to it.
Right. Okay. Anyone else?
I think that I have, especially like during one of our impact shows, actually, it was at a place where it was like a lot of it was predominantly white. And we were kind of like the activist group that was supposed to be performing there. And I feel like we felt it when we went inside of like a bathroom and people looked at us differently because it was like we didn't fit in, I guess.
Right.
And I felt like that was a time that like it like stuck with me because it was kind of like we've experienced it before, but it was never like that brought out until that day. And then I started like realizing it more after that.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the period in time we live in, and we've been living this way for a long time. This is nothing new. So I want to ask you guys, what steps can we make as artists? Since you said an activist and an artist, what steps can we make as artists from a youth perspective? The younger generation, you are striving and pushing that Black Lives Matter movement. What are other ways that we can take steps to move forward and to become, as we say, more free? Tiannah.
Education.
No, go ahead, Tiannah.
I think education is a huge part of it. Not only educating others and making sure that they know what's going on, but also educating ourselves, because although we are experiencing what's going on, it doesn't stop us from having an open mind and to better understand why we're being treated this way or what started it.
Mm-hmm. LJ?
Personally, just to continue to get the youth, active and activated and remembering, why certain things are happening. Like she said, education is definitely the main goal. And like we've been doing for years, we're doing shows, writing songs, music, making the education accessible to, youth and young adults. But I think a new thing that we could do is like maybe parties. I feel like before, access in a class setting or a music setting was that's where we were in the time. Everybody wanted better access to education. Everybody wanted easier understanding of what is going on. I feel like now that we've kind of gotten that extent, people kind of want a release, a breath of fresh air. So maybe if we took some time, but then some time to relax or, and serve each other, fellowship, have a good time, eat and whatever the thing is, but then take the responsibility of saying, all right, but this is what's going on at this point in time, and we can enjoy ourselves, but let's make sure that we can continue living and enjoying ourselves.
That's right. Especially during this pandemic, it's kind of hard for us to congregate in such settings. But once again, we have StreamYard and Zoom for that.
Right.
Denaysha, what about you, babe?
I was going to say maybe just like kind of what LJ said, just like educating ourselves, but also trying to not like go against what you're saying yourself, because like I feel like a big part of it is that people like they speak up and they tell other people what to do, but then you're not holding yourself to the same standards. So it's kind of like you're going back and forth with yourself. So kind of just sticking to your word. If you say you're an activist, like believing in that and trying to show that you are. So like lead by example, I guess.
Be the message that you bring, Okay, guys. Well, any closing statements from you guys? Anything you want to share before we wrap up? Tiannah?
I think the main thing is education is extremely important during this time. Mm-hmm. And also, if you can vote, make sure that you do vote.
That's right.
And if you can't vote, educate yourself on the candidates and other people who can vote and make sure that they are voting.
That's right. Denaysha?
Kind of the same thing, just trying to stay educated. And like, even when it gets overwhelming, I still think that you should be able to know when you need to take a mental break and just get yourself in check. Because I feel like a lot of the time you're always so like trying to be the activist, but not every time you can be the change if you're not like put together yourself. So just taking care of yourself before you can help anyone else.
Come on, Lucas, take us home.
Definitely. Like you said, be the message that you bring and know that that's your responsibility. Do the education, learn the history. Don't just get mad at everybody else who's not doing or getting done what you see fit to do. Learn about what has been done so we don't reinvent the wheel and get tricked by the same things that we've gotten tricked by over and over again. There's definitely a power struggle in our country and in our community, and it's not about overpowering anybody, but having the power and sovereignty for all of us to be free. And that's it.
That's amazing, guys. It was great talking with you. Again, I am Dietrice Bolden, Managing Director of Impact Repertory Theater and a proud board member of Harlem Week, Inc. And like we say at Impact, we love one another, protect one another, watch each other's back. But above all, we keep a positive thought because a positive thought cannot be denied. Peace.
Peace.